Hey guys, coming back at you with a little bit of interesting news. This is something that popped up over on Gizmodo a couple of days ago. But before we get into that, guys, look, I really appreciate everybody's outpouring of support of the channel, of everything we're trying to do. And it's not just with the craziness with the OGL and what Wizards of the Coast is doing, but so many of you folks have come back and said, hey, I want to learn how to play classic Dungeons and Dragons. And you've hit me with classic D&D questions, and I love hearing it and answering it and making content that isn't just me yelling about this. So please, if you like this content, regardless of what it is, click the like button and click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. It really helps out a lot, and I appreciate it so much. We are almost at 3,500, 3,600 subscribers. I'll have to go back and check, but that's huge numbers for me. Okay. For me, that's pretty darn good. So thank you, everybody. So with that said, let's jump into this. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, Critical Role is a huge media landscape force out there. They are doing live plays of an extremely popular 5th edition D&D game. Matt Mercer is the DM, the show's host, and millions of people love it. It's an extremely profitable show. They've released campaign books, merch. They have an animated TV series on streaming. It's big. Okay, I mean, it's big. If you don't know that, if you're not aware, Critical Role is huge. So, of course, when things sort of blew up with the OGL, people were clamoring for a statement because they wanted to know what the folks at Critical Role thought. And they issued this statement. I'm going to just bring this up here. So this is on Twitter. I'll link to the actual tweet in the description below, of course. And this is, what is the date on this? Well, we'll check it out in a second. But this is from Critical Role. Critical Role has always supported creators and game development in the tabletop space. We stand by our industry peers, as well as anyone who takes a risk creating a new system or developing an original idea. Thank you very much, Critical Role. The beauty of gaming comes from the opportunity to share inclusive, diverse, and compelling stories from a wide spectrum of creators. That's exactly why we launched our own game publishing company a few years ago, because we believe that broadening the field of creators boosts the entire industry. The success we have experienced is thanks to the passion and interest of the greater tabletop community, and we commit to fostering an environment that allows everyone the opportunity to easily share the stories they wish to tell. And that's from Critical Role. And that was a little over 2 weeks ago, of course, when things were still glowing white hot with the release of OGL 1.1. Now, this drew some flack, believe it or not. This actually drew some flack. Just to look down at this. Here's a tweet. Okay, good half step. Nice that you removed the D&D Beyond sponsorship plug from the page. May I suggest taking a more firm action, such as switching away from D&D? And then they mentioned some other games. A hollow souled message, vague tweeting, that's a paddle little meme there. I've been a Crit Role fan since day one, but what's with this milquetoast statement exactly? I can't tell if it's we stand with WotC or we support those who WotC's changes are about to screw, or what. Be clear / be better, as we all know you are and can be, please. So to call the response to Critical Role's tweet here mixed would be an understatement. Okay. I guess you could say people were very critical of it. But anyway, to move on. Well, a couple of days ago, they actually sat down with Gizmodo, and I will link to the Gizmodo article below. You can check that out. They sat down with Gizmodo, and we'll take a look at it. I'll let you guys decide if this is a clarification, if this makes things better, if this is worse, or what. But let's take a quick look. We're gonna hop over there, over to another browser tab. Let's take a look at this. Scroll up a little bit. The Critical Role cast supports independent creators and new systems. Well, yeah, that's what we saw in the tweet. Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray spoke to IO9, saying that they will always support a Dungeons & Dragons environment that allows for new things. Hey, stop playing video. Thank you. As founding cast members of Critical Role, Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray are some of the most influential Dungeons & Dragons players in the world. Currently, they act as a chief creative officer and creative director for Critical Role, and have always centered their fans in their creative endeavors. Sorry, my mouse is acting up again. When asked about the movement in the wider D&D fandom to open D&D by either removing the open gaming license from the auspices of Wizards of the Coast or irrevocably enshrining the OGL 1.A, their response was measured but came down strongly on the side of the creators. Do you guys think it came down strongly on the side of the creators? I don't know. We thoroughly believe that the more systems, the more RPGs that are out there, the more variety that people have to choose from, that only strengthens the entire community, said Ray. Critical Role put out a statement last week that many found ambiguous, as we saw. And there's the tweet, of course. Ray said that the whole team had lengthy discussions about what to say and when to say it in order to convey support to the community. She continued, stating, "It's important to have an environment that does allow these creators, independent, big, small, to create new and make new things. Whichever way allows the community to do that, that's where we're going to stand and support." She recalled that Critical Role started as a small independent project. "We're never going to forget our roots." Mercer added that he is definitely interested in watching where it goes. He mentioned that the choice to separate the open gaming license between the OGL 1.2 and a Creative Commons license was a grandiose step in a grandiose direction, and I'm very eager to see where it goes from here. The first 3 episodes of Critical Role's animated series, The Legends of Vox Machina, are able to stream on Amazon Prime Video. New episodes air every Friday. Oh, and that's there. There we go. My mouse acting up again. Let's get back down here. And that's it. That's really it. And I wish I could say that there was more to it than that. There's not. I'm going to say this, which is going to make me sound probably just as vague as they are. They are probably under very, very tight restriction based on their relationship with the Wizards of the Coast as to what they can or can't say. Whether you think that justifies their vague posting or not, whether you think that they should have just been bold and backed us gamers, I will leave to you guys to decide. Again, I don't consume Critical Role. I have mentioned it here on the show a few times derisively because I don't necessarily think that it actually represents the real tabletop experience, and I still feel that way. I have seen a little bit of Legend of Vox Machina. That looks very cute, but I wouldn't let it inform my gaming. I would be probably more influenced by the old D&D cartoon than Legend of Vox Machina. But you guys tell me, is that anything helpful? Do you think that helps the community? Do you think it hurts the community by them not being more decisive? But again, I thought it was interesting that they sat down with Gizmodo, and I'll link to the video, and you guys can watch through that. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and do a reacts video where I'm like, yeah, ha, wow, for 30 minutes or however long it is. And this is not a reacts channel. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I just wanted to kind of bring you up to speed, as I'm always doing. We'll be back at 8 o'clock tonight for a live stream where we're going to be talking about classic role-playing games, specifically more first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you guys again real soon. Peace.